Bruno Groning lived from 1906 to 1958. Becoming the most renowned faith healer of the 20th century. Performing mass healing on the crowds that congregated around his home. He possessed an otherworldly aura from a young age. Spending most of his time alone in nature. He developed his deep spiritual connection and healing abilities. Bruno Groning's powers would save him from execution in a German detention camp during WW2. With the commanding officer noticing Bruno performing healing miracles on his fellow prisoners. And deciding to spare him, Bruno's reputation would precede him, with crowds of the sick and injured lining up for healing wherever he went. Groning's miraculous faith healing sessions grew to become such a huge phenomenon, that governments and the medical industry saw him as a potential threat to control. He happily agreed to being monitored and studied but drew the line when they proposed to let Bruno continue healing freely, if he worked alongside doctors and attributed a percentage of the results to modern medicine. Bruno refused this unfair agreement and faced serious legal and political consequences for the rest of his life. Wherever he would go, the government would issue bans on his healing sessions. But large mobs of people confronted politicians responsible at their homes and demanded that Bruno be allowed to heal freely, which would give him temporary freedom until new laws against him were enforced. One of his most famous interactions was with Marlene Dietrich, who attended one of Groning's healing sessions. Bruno Groning had a large protrusion coming out from his neck. He said it was a part of what gave him his incredible healing powers. During his sessions, many with permanent or incurable diseases were instantaneously healed. It was truly a sight to behold, crowds of people in awe of the miracles happening all around them. There are many people still alive today thankful for the healing they received at Bruno's healing events. Bruno claimed that he had to heal many at a time because if he didn't, his insides would burn up and he would die. After facing a long restriction on being allowed to perform large public healing events, Bruno became sick and died. The autopsy reported that his insides were severely burnt, contributing to his death. Bruno preached of peace and love. He had mastered using that power for the good of humanity, on a scale that could be compared with the miracles performed by Jesus Christ.